I found out I was pregnant at 7 weeks, and it was a happy surprise later in life and not something that I had prepared for in any way. And the minute I was visibly pregnant, everybody started dumping their horror stories on me every day, and I found myself feeling more and more anxious. And so initially I thought, oh, there's medical professionals that do this for a living, this is what they do, I'm just going to go with the flow and let those people tell me what to do, kind of thing. But then the more horror stories I heard, I felt like I really needed to shift that from this passive kind of pregnancy is happening to me approach to proactively finding out more, so that I could prepare myself in a way that was more positive than what I was getting from people around me. And that's when I sought out, I started trawling around online, and I found Tara's yoga and alternative antenatal class and supporting motherhood, and I really liked what the website had to say, and it felt like the first step for me in making a more positive choice about my pregnancy. For me, preparing for birth, there were a few facets to that, and the intellectual education about choices in childbirth was really important. Equally important was the emotional and right brain kind of support. I found the yoga classes provided this really safe environment for me as well. And then the third thing is this physical support, where I've spent a lot of focus physically preparing my body for labour in a number of ways, and yoga was a consistent twice a week for 6 months pretty much of my pregnancy, so that I felt my body was ready, and I knew I had confidence. Actually, that's what it was about, building confidence that I could birth as opposed to labour happening to me. That was the main thing, and a safe place where I could prepare to birth my baby. Yeah. With the antenatal classes, what I really got out of that was understanding the knock-on effects of the little decisions that we make early in labour that feel like they're little decisions at the time. And so doing the antenatal classes has really helped me to understand, well, if I do this, it will lead to this, and this, which may not be the outcome that I want. And so therefore, what can I do proactively to place myself in the best scenario to let nature take its course and not be fussed with as much as possible. So when I understood the importance of those things, then I was really strategic, I guess, about setting up my labour situation as best as I could to support me to do the work that I needed to do. I found it empowering to know that information, and it also led me to do more research, so that when I was having conversations with medical personnel, I could have that in an informed way and quote my sources and have intelligent discussions about choices, rather than feel like those choices were being made for me. Having a doula on the day, and especially somebody as experienced as Tara, what that did for me was create a safe space where I could do what I needed to do and go to the place that I needed to go and be undisturbed and just be there. And because of that, my labour was incredibly, I don't know if efficient is the right word, that's a very Western word, but it was very straightforward. And having a doula that had the maturity to just let me be. And I realised, because Fraser was born in our bathroom, and we didn't actually originally plan it that way, but I do recall when labour was very powerful for me, I was in a place where I couldn't really talk because I was just breathing, but somewhere over here there was a voice in my head saying, oh well, if my baby's coming, it's okay, because Tara's here, Andrew, my husband's here, everybody knows what they're doing, I'm safe, it's fine. And so I didn't feel any sense of emergency, or I could just peacefully birth my baby and be left to do that. And I found when I was in labour that every little thing. I was hypersensitive, and so it was really critical for me, for the people that were supporting me, to create that space where I wasn't disturbed and I could just stay in that place where I was, which was a mammal thing. I wasn't thinking a thought, that's why I couldn't talk, just breathing. But I could hear the guy with the whippersnipper around the corner. I was like, or if something touched the bed, it's like, no, I've got to focus here. And having been through that, I'm now wondering how on earth I would have done that in a hospital environment because of the constant disturbance. And I was able to just go to a really deep place and birth my baby undisturbed and peacefully. And that was just, I can't describe, that's just priceless. It was just a beautiful way for my baby to come into the world. Having gone to the yoga and done the antenatal classes and having the really just straightforward, natural, lovely experience that I had in labour, I kind of feel like I've discovered that the world is ripping everyone off. Actually, I think that's how I feel, because it doesn't have to be so scary. And that's not to discount anyone's experience when there's genuine medical stuff going on, but I found it really straightforward and lovely, and so far haven't had issues with the baby in terms of breastfeeding and stuff, because he was breastfeeding from the get-go, and found a really supportive network of people, and it's been lovely. Giving birth is definitely one of the most profound experiences of my life, and it'll probably sound a bit odd, but for me this year, I was in the room with my mum when she passed away, and then 3 weeks later I found out I was pregnant, and then almost 10 months later I gave birth, and I found that the same place that I needed to go to support my mother in death was a similar place that I needed to go to birth my child. But in order to do that, we need support and supportive people and a peaceful place to be. And so that's where, having Tara and Andrew on the day, but also all in the lead up, and allowing that rite of passage to be what it is, and be as profound as it is, as preparation for parenthood and as preparation for life and death and the whole cycle. And it's something that, it's so profound that I don't think that there's really any words for it. It just is, and I'm grateful to have had that experience.